one team we would be remiss if we didn't mention. Max,
Yes.
it is pretty rare for a first-year varsity program to start making the noise in that first year.
It's true.
But that's exactly what the Midlothian Heritage Jaguars are doing. They are 6-1 and a thrilling win over district rival Alvarado. And here to talk about his Jaguars is the head coach of Midland Heritage's Coach Lee Wiginton. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for joining us. I want to go back to Friday night. You guys take on an Alvarado team that I think it's fair to say was no worse than a co-favorite to win that district. You guys come out with a 17-14 win in an absolute thriller. What can you tell us about the way your team played going up against a perennial power like Alvarado?
Wow. I can tell you that our guys played wonderfully. They really did. Alvarado is they're everything that they were hyped up to be. I mean, they're tremendously talented and probably even better coached than that. And our kids really did play a complete game. I felt like we played our best game defensively. We found a way to slow them down. We didn't ever stop them, but we slowed them down enough. Special teams made some big plays, and then offense just seemed to move it enough to end up on top. It was really a great game that the kids just kind of found a way to hang in there.
You guys, we mentioned that first-year varsity programs generally don't have the kind of success that you guys have had. Coming into the year, did you have an idea that this could be a special bunch?
Well, I think you're always optimistic. I think, if you guys do, you're going to walk around at coaching school and you're going to see 1,000 different coaches and every one of us are going to say, if we stay healthy, we have a shot, and that was probably us. We felt good. We liked our kids. I mean, they're talented. They work hard, and we felt good about them. You never know. I mean, we played the JV schedule last year, so you have no idea how you're going to be able to match up to some quality teams, which we played some really good ones throughout non-district, and then the other night against Alvarado. So you really, I wouldn't act like I had a clue how we'd do against those teams.
This may sound like an odd question, but you guys came into the game against Alvarado scoring 51 points a game. Are you excited about the fact that you guys only scored 17 points and won a game? Because in a lot of ways, obviously you'd love to score a million points every game, but at the same time, the book on you guys heading into this game where you guys were a high-flying offense, defense pretty good, but you guys were known for having a high-flying offense. Is this a boost of confidence knowing that you guys can win in this different way?
It's funny you say that because I made that comment yesterday. We're up here and I said, and I told our guys that in my career, I think this is as good a victory as I've ever been around, and it was because of that. And I said, They whipped. I mean, they really, really, really played well defensively against our offense. We did not move the ball much, and the way that we won is very satisfying, and it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't that we, got some lucky breaks here or there. It was just a good football game that we came out on top of playing good football. And they're incredibly physical. Their Katie is who they are. That's the style offense and defense they run. That's the way they play, and they're really, really good at it. And it was a bolt of confidence is probably a good way to say it. I mean, it was a good win that felt good for that reason, probably more so for that reason.
We're talking to Lee Wiginton, the head coach of the Midlothian Heritage Jaguars here on DCTF Live. Interview brought to you by our friends at Atavis Rugby Tackling. Get involved in the conversation at #DCTF Live. Coach, I want to ask you about a couple of your players. Your quarterback, Landon Ledbetter, has been remarkable this year. And just a sophomore. I mean, a guy who is, he's going to be a thorn in a lot of people's sides for a long time.
A lot of these guys are.
Yeah. As the guy who gets to see him every day in practice, what can you tell us about your outstanding signal caller?
Well, he's just a great kid. It's just a great kid. He he's really consumed with it. It means the world to him to to be able to do things. Very conscientious, but really, man, what I just say is just a phenomenal kid, and he's gonna will himself and his team into good situations. He's just one of those that's a joy to be around. He's pleasant all the time. He's hard on himself, but he's gonna laugh and smile as much as he is hard on himself. So it's fun. It's fun to be around every second of the day as it is to watch him play on a Friday night.
And you guys are a rather young team, not just because of the program, but also because you guys play a lot of underclassmen. Going into a Friday night when you're going up against a lot of really senior-laden teams, is there any sort of adjustment that you make, having a history in this game and having coached those senior-laden squads? Is there any sort of adjustment you make to adjust for these younger teams?
No, not really. For us, we kind of look at it as an advantage in that they don't know anything. You have these kids that they don't know good, they don't know bad. All they know is that they're going to work hard, and they believe that if they work hard, good things are going to happen to those who work hard. So they're going to step on the field expecting good things to happen. And we don't talk about the fact that we might be young at some positions. We're just going to continue to go on about our business, and really, they don't know. If you ask them, are we an old team, young team, they have no clue. They're just going to go out there and they look each other in the eyes and think that they're all the same, and they enjoy it.
And you guys do have an outstanding wide receiver, I want to make sure I mention, in Carrion Fields, guy with 43 catches, 760 yards, and 7 touchdowns on the year. As a guy who's out there, signaling the offense and calling the offense, what does it mean for you guys to have that kind of go-to guy in Carrion Fields who can really, it seems like, take over a game?
He's special. He really is. And he's one of those kids that doesn't look like he should be. Mm-hmm. I mean, he just really, if you put him on a track in the spring, you're not going to be wowed. You do things, you put him out there and watch him, in shorts in a practice, you're not going to be wowed. But what you would be wowed is that he only knows one speed. I mean, he literally every second of every day is going full speed, and that's just how he prepares himself and carries himself, and it carries over to the game. And he's hard to tackle. He catches the ball in a crowd. He has unbelievable body control and balance. It's really a joy. But much like when you asked about Landon, what makes it such a joy is that the way he practices every day. It just is fun. This whole group, though, I mean, it's just, and part of it is they don't know that, maybe you should have a prima donna here or there. They don't know that. All they know is that they're guys that are going to go out there, and if we say you have to go practice, they think there's only one way to practice, so they go out there and practice that way. And it's a joy to coach him because he is special.
One of the few seniors you have on your squad over on the defensive side, Preston Smith. He's leading your team in tackles. He's all over the place. We knew that he was going to be a playmaker. Not only the guy Preston Smith, but also the fact that he's a senior. What does he mean to your defense?
Well, a lot. He really does for those two things. We, like you said, we don't have a ton of seniors, and he's one of those guys that he is kind of the alpha male. He's a big, strong guy in the weight room for us. He's a big personality. The game means the world to him, and his teammates mean the world to him, and he's going to let them know that. He's going to, the way he practices, he's going to expect everyone to practice at that same intensity. And when you step on the field, he's going to expect you to play the same intensity he plays with, which is neat. And it's really good to see him have the success he's having. We were playing him at D-line at the start of the year, and just out of the way, our puzzle was fitting, and we felt that was the need, and then we suffered an injury at linebacker and have moved him there, and wow, I mean, he's playing really well.
And I want to ask you, Coach, about your district, District 6 4A Division 1. You guys have already taken down, I think, the preseason favorite to win it in Alvarado, but there's no rest for the weary. You guys got I think a hungry Carter team coming up this Friday night, and then a surging Carrollton Ranchview team and a surging Wilmer Hutchins team left on the horizon.
Yes.
When you take a look at your district, what are you seeing from your perspective?
Well, first, I'm a lot like these kids in that I'm in shock that we're about to play Dallas Carter.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sitting there. It blows my mind. I mean, this is the same Dallas Carter. I'm thinking I've watched Dallas Carter on movies. I mean, it blows my mind that that we're playing them, and man, they're so talented that they have a lot of guys that are incredibly skilled on both sides of the ball, and I haven't looked at the Carrollton Ranch View or Wilmer Hutchins, but I feel like it's going to be much the same. It's just it's very humbling and very exciting at the same time that we're in a position that those games matter. We got a huge one against Alvarado, and it's put us in a position to where, gosh, these games matter. Hey, let's go out there and continue to work hard and see what'll happen.
You mentioned it. I don't know if there's ever been a disparity in pedigree, quite like we're going to see on Friday night, where here's Dallas Carter on one side,
gosh.
where they've been everything
all the
and
history
done,
in the world.
done
Yeah.
all the history in the world, and you guys just basically rolled out of bed.
That's right.
It's a
That's
pretty
right.
remarkable story, and we're excited to keep following it. And we're absolutely pleased as punch that you guys have had the success you guys have had. Is there any concern about a hangover? Is there any concern about your kids looking at what they did last Friday night and saying, "Guys, look at that," and read their own press clippings or watching this interview?
Yeah, probably. I mean, there is, but I mean, the good is, I'll tell you, we played an unbelievable team earlier in the year. We played at Decatur on a Saturday night, and it was a very emotional week, very emotional game. Finished it, then turned around on a short week and played a good Crandall team, and had to bounce back. And I think that this team has done a good job of in the short time we've been together, of trying to or have been thrown some adversity in different ways. And I think it still goes back to the fact that we still don't know what the playoffs are. So in our mind, we have 3 games left. And if we lose all 3 of them, we're done. So all we're thinking in our locker room is we don't have any of those kids that are sitting there saying, yeah, but we're probably going to make the playoffs, because that's not the case. You lose those 3 and you're going to be watching everyone else. So the guys are just out there and they're really excited about the way things went Friday, but they also got to see themselves on film Saturday morning, and they realize there's a lot of work to be done. So they're excited to get back out there today and try to do that.
In a sense, ignorance is bliss. He is the
That's
head coach of the Midlothian Heritage Jaguars, 6-1 and roaring right now. He's Coach Lee Wiginton. Coach, appreciate your time. Congratulations on your great start, and good luck Friday night.
Gosh, thank you so much. Thanks for the visit.